Hey D, it is January 21st, 2023, and it is Lunar New Year's Eve, technically, here in New York. Already the New Year over in China. And you should have known this earlier, not a few days prior, but it's actually the year of the rabbit, and it's your zodiac year. What that means is it's the start of your third life cycle here on planet Earth. And as I'm present tense, as I was thinking about this the other day, it seemed too perfect that this is the start of a new chapter, literally, and also figuratively, in terms of how we came into 2023, the mindset, the vision that we laid out for ourselves. And I thought I would just make a video for you to rewatch each year over the course of these next 12 of this life cycle of yours, just so you have kind of one place to be able to reflect and just get a quick snapshot of where and who you were in life at that time, because we both know how much of a pain in the ass it's been to try and read through old journals and find the right entries and whatnot. So I figured let's just kind of have it in one place for future's sake. But there's a lot that I want to just kind of fill you in on first, and then I've got some other sort of, questions and last little words of wisdom for you, not to sound like super structured and podcasty, because this is a conversation, but I did want to just kind of get some thoughts down for you, just so I'm not, killing all your time, whatever you're doing in the future. To start creatively, man, you are right now, you're grafting. You're grafting. You are putting in the work, because as we've talked about, you've really seen 2023 as this defining year for you, not only creatively, but also just in your life. And this desire to just really just turn things up a notch, to do things differently, has really been the focal point in 2023. And you've already done a great job of that. I think we started to realize, early on, well, not early on, probably 8 or 9 months in, that the content we were making wasn't really fully authentic. We were trying, honestly, too hard to be someone we're not, trying to follow the standard, cookie cutter YouTuber approach that you'd been used to seeing and you'd been told was successful, and it didn't feel right. So now you're taking a new direction, your own direction, and it just feels a lot more genuine, more, frictionless. Is that a word? And I'm excited to see where it goes for both of us. Additionally, you're also starting to write again, which is awesome. You loved writing growing up, and it's been so cool to see just how this creative muscle that we had as kids is starting to come alive again. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I think that's the beautiful thing, is that when you just give yourself that permission to create, to be a kid, it's like the floodgates just open for some reason. And I'm just excited to see where you take this, because it's already been pretty awesome to see how in the less than a year that we've been doing this YouTube, we've already grown a lot, both technically and I guess qualitatively in terms of the realizations that we've had. So I have no doubt you're going to continue the trend in next year, the next 12. In terms of relationships, you are blessed, man. You have some absolutely incredible people in your life. People that just make you feel like you can be yourself, which, we both know that was something we struggled with for much of our life. So to have people like that now, man, you and I are, I guess, are both incredibly fortunate. And I'm excited to, I guess, well, I'm going to try to phrase this. I'm trying to mix present and future tense, and it's just not working in my head. But you're continuing to cultivate, new friendships as they come. But by all means, you are totally content with the ones you have, because it's so cheesy, cliche, whatever you want to call it, but true, that the quality of your relationships matters way more than the quantity, and you've got some quality people in your life. When it comes, the age-old question, romantically, right now, I guess, current, present tense, you are single, but you are totally content with that, because you have this faith and belief in the uncertainty, the future, that the right person out there, she's waiting for you just as much as you are for her. And in the meantime, it's just a matter of both of you working on yourselves and taking the necessary leaps, making decisions, changes to eventually cross paths. And when people ask you, you always say, it's like, you've been so fortunate to meet some amazing dudes in your life. Like, honestly, I've met some amazing guy friends, and it's like, at some point, the tables have got to turn, right? Or so we hope. But either way, right now you're currently living in that sort of mindset of be passive but proactive when you need to be. It's like, just let life come to you. Don't try to force things. And above all, just before you focus on building a life with someone else, you got to build your own first. And that's exactly what we are doing. I keep switching between like we and I, but you get the point. You'll figure it out. You're a smart dude. But in terms of, I guess, the last kind of piece, or two pieces, but I guess like mentor-wise, that's a pretty important piece for you from a relationship standpoint. You've got some absolutely incredible mentees, if you want to call it that, in your life, who really remind you of your younger self, and you feel incredibly fulfilled and so grateful when you're able to, show up for them. It just brings you so much joy. And on the flip side, I think that's one thing that you've been looking for, is mentorship from others, and you're fortunate enough to have one in your life, especially when it comes to not just creatively, but life as a whole, who has been there with you this entire creative journey. But admittedly, it would be cool to meet more people doing creative or unusual things, and there's just a level of understanding that comes with doing that, which we haven't really come across in too many people yet. So that'd be cool. So apologies for the background noise. This is one of the most annoying things about this apartment whenever you film, is the gas, the heat that goes on in the background. Yeah, you're gonna remember what I'm talking about when you watch this back. But I guess like the last part is, I guess, how you stand with like family and whatnot, that relationship. And quite honestly, it's like, it's tough. It's a tough situation, tough spot to be in. It's like, I think you recognize that you are a bit of a maximizer when it comes to just life as a whole. You want to experience things as fully as you can, and when relationships aren't really moving in the way that you'd like, it's tough, and at the end of the day, we've got to prioritize ourselves, our own dreams, our own lives. We've spent way too long living for other people, giving more than we should have. And right now, you set some pretty rigid boundaries with family and whatnot to protect this, protect this energy, to protect this dream of yours, because you can't have anything affecting that right now. But you do hope that it will improve, because relationships are a two-way street, and that every damn day you put in the work to work on yourself, to keep your heart as open as possible, and to continuing opening and expanding it as much as you can to make room for those relationships in your life. And hopefully one day that'll be the same with family. When it comes to health, I guess a few areas that you always think about physically, you are, thank gosh, being more lenient right now with yourself. You're actually allowing yourself to enjoy life, not over obsess with your diet and your nutrition and whatnot, though admittedly you are still tracking your macros, and you do have moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I overate, and you do more cardio or steps. But you're aware of that, you're working on it, that's what counts. I think you've also gotten to a better place when it comes to, I guess, your relationship with fitness and health, your physical health. Because it definitely was a huge source of, voice crack. I'm 23 and still voice cracking. Hopefully you're good by then. But fitness was a huge part of your identity and a huge source of, pride and your worthiness. And admittedly, you're not where you used to be in college. You definitely peaked. I do hope that you can get back to maybe where you were before, but if not, you're okay with that, and you're starting to, I think, realize that there's so many other parts of who you are that are more important. That you do still have a little bit of body dysmorphia, so let's work on that. Well, when it comes to mental health, I think this is just such an incredible thing for us to talk about. It's like your mental health right now has just, in 2 years, it's really changed so much, and for the better. Definitely wasn't easy getting to this point. Yeah, it definitely was not easy. But right now you're incredibly secure in who you are, and you've been able to embrace the baggage, the trauma you experienced growing up, and show them love, because they made you who you are, and you wouldn't be the person that you are, and you wouldn't have the desire to serve others had you not been able to have the opportunity to experience all these things that you did. And in that sense, we're at a place where, gosh, I keep talking between we and I, and whatever, I don't care at this point, but you're at a place right now where you're able to manage your emotions. Your emotions don't overwhelm you like they did before. You recognize them for what they are. And I'm not trying to say you don't get frustrated or annoyed. You definitely still do. And I don't expect you to be perfect about that in the future. But you are at such a better place right now where you're able to just see things clearly. You're able to support yourself, soothe yourself. Hell, you traveled across the world for 2 weeks completely alone. I don't think you could have done that back in school with your emotional state. So it's cool to see. You are every single day taking care of your mental health, which is awesome. Don't ever stop doing that. Additionally, you just have a lot of belief and confidence in yourself, which, just saying that out loud is pretty cool. Well, our neighbors are slamming doors, but it's pretty cool to just see how far you've come from a self-belief and confidence standpoint, gosh, I don't think I'd be sitting here talking to you had we. No, I definitely wouldn't be if we hadn't done all the work these past couple years. Right now, gosh, you just have so much belief in yourself and your abilities, especially your ability to navigate the uncertainty in the future, because you have so much trust in not only yourself, but also life. And we'll get to that later, but when it comes to our spiritual health, definitely some work still to be done there when it comes to like ego management. You're doing a pretty solid job, but you do still definitely have moments or lapses of judgment or whatnot, and I think that's an ongoing thing, minimizing the ego and whatnot. And it's been pretty cool to see how you've worked on it the past couple of years, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the future. Additionally, I think a big thing for you right now is just taking life slower. It's like we used to live so fast all the time, just especially in New York, hustling and bustling, A to B, B to C, and it's like you just don't enjoy the finer moments in life, and it's pretty cool to see how much of a difference it's already made in, I guess, your life. Just incorporating this small change, like, chewing your food like a cow, stopping in the middle of the street and catching that glorious beam of sun. Just slowing down your walking pace, because what's the rush, right? Life is meant to be experienced, and I'm sure you'll have a lot more of these kind of moments of gratitude and satisfaction in the future. Additionally, you also just have this level of, again, belief in the universe, nature, providence, uncertainty, whatever you want to call it, so many names, but life always has a way of working out. And I think one of the most powerful things that you've been able to do is just constantly reflect, and you're able to just pick up on all the moments, small or large, that have contributed to making you who you are. And it all seems just too perfect in a way. Obviously in the moment it doesn't really make sense at first, but when you look back, everything makes sense. And you've learned to trust that. You've learned to trust that as long as you stay positive and persistent, as long as you just demonstrate good character and try to give more than you receive, then life will treat you the same. When it comes to purpose, it's been pretty cool just to, I don't know if cool is the word, but we'll roll with that. Your purpose, when you made that first video back in March of 2021, March of 2022, excuse me. It was super long. I don't even know how many words it was, but I think the core of it is the same, right? It was always about how can you understand and connect with others so, you can help them live a more meaningful and fulfilling life. And I think right now you've been able to condense it quite a bit, and the core of it is still the same, but it's a little bit more specific to what you've experienced in the time since, especially the past few months, and part of what also frustrates you right now, which you'll talk about. But right now, your purpose in life is to empower others to believe and dream more. And man, I, f- I feel, I guess, I or we, whatever, feel incredibly fortunate, blessed, grateful, whatever other adjectives, to have this purpose. Because how incredible is it that the more you're able to instill a sense of belief in others, the more you believe in yourself. And the more you believe in yourself, the more equipped you are to help others build that belief. And it's just like this a beautiful cycle or circle that, man, when you're fulfilling your purpose in the moment, when you're with somebody, you're interacting with them, you feel that in your heart. Even talking about it now, you just feel that in your heart. And that's rare, and sometimes you wonder, why me? But you don't question things, you don't question life. You're just grateful to have the opportunity to serve that purpose. Like we talked about, you are not perfect. Never will be, don't expect you to be. There are some things that are frustrating you right now. And kind of on the topic of purpose, it definitely breaks your heart being in, and it's not even just New York, it's just society as a whole, but people who have just lost their ability to dream. You know, they've lost that inner child, you know. And I mean, you were once on that kind of path as well. So there's nothing inherently wrong with that. There's no judgment there, but it's, gosh, like you just want people to just live life how they want. You just want people to live the most fulfilling life possible, to actualize their potential, to, yeah. And it's just so hard every day, especially when you go into the office for your day job and you're riding the subway and you just see just like a lack of life, lack of joy. And it's hard to be around that, but it also just reaffirms your conviction in your purpose and your desire to help as many people as possible break free of this. Because there is nothing holding people back. Nothing. Apart from their limiting beliefs. Just as you were. You were held back for the longest time by limiting beliefs and conditioning that you didn't ask for. They were ingrained in you by your upbringing, society, the environments you grew up in, went to school in. And it's amazing how overcoming those beliefs, that's it. That's all it has taken for you to get to this point in life. To be sitting here actualizing your dream of being a YouTuber and to have the faith in yourself in the future. That's all it takes, is just overcoming those limiting beliefs, and you want to help as many people as possible in life overcome theirs. Additionally, I guess kind of on that point, yeah, corporate life, especially with recent events that you've kind of experienced, man, it is just not a way to live. And it's like, obviously society and life isn't perfect, and I don't know if there ever won't be corporate life, but yeah, it just like shocks and hurts you to experience and witness just like the lack of humanity, the lack of freedom, the fear people live in. Yeah, it's hard to be around. Additionally, yeah, and I kind of mentioned this, but family is definitely a pain point right now. It's like, obviously, you want, from the bottom of your heart, you want a strong relationship with your family, just as you do with those amazing people in your life. But at the end of the day, you can't make people change. You've tried before. You've felt responsible for other people's baggage and insecurities, and in the process, forgot to take care of your own. And in doing so, in getting yourself to this point, you realize that everyone is responsible for their own. That is no one else's burden to carry or shoulder or to alleviate but their own. And while you can hope that they'll get to a point in life where they do choose, everyone has a choice, right? They do choose to address that. Right now, at least, for where you are in life, you don't see how else it'll work unless they put in the work. So, yeah, is it frustrating? Yeah, it is. Because I feel like everyone expects everyone, what you grew up watching and being around is that people have happy families to come home to return to for the holidays and whatnot. And as much as it does sadden you that you don't have that, it only makes you all the more grateful in your life for the people in your life that you do have. They're your family, and they make you feel like home. And it also makes you all the more motivated to work on yourself and to build a life where you can give your future children the upbringing you wish you had. Yeah. I guess like my last kind of frustration is, and I don't even know it's a frustration, it's just kind of like an acknowledgement, objectively, plainly speaking, but you've met a lot of ambitious people, but not many purposeful people. And I say that recognizing that I guess having purpose or being a virtuous person is what makes us different, and we feel incredibly fortunate and grateful. But it would be cool there I am using cool again, it would be cool to meet someone else who also has that deep level of conviction in serving something greater than themselves. And you'll meet that person, those people, hopefully. I'm gonna put some light pressure on you, but I do have some hopes for what you accomplish or get up to in the future. I definitely want to see you become more comfortable creatively, really just kind of find your unique voice, your unique path as a creative, which I think you've already, I know you're already doing, or I guess I, in the present, am already kind of figuring out or trying to figure out right now. So yeah, only more time will tell, and kind of hone that in more, which will be cool. And I have no doubt you're also going to continue, just improving at the areas you've kind of already delved into, just really deepening your expertise, right? Writing is kind of reawakening right now, and it'd be so cool to see kind of where you take that in the next year, next 12 years. You've always wanted to do like a podcast because you really like talking to people and just like having these kind of conversations, connections. So it'd be pretty cool to see you do some sort of podcast, maybe like, even if it's just like an occasional one, or hopefully like an ongoing one. That'd be super cool. I obviously also hope, and I know that you're going to live abroad, and just kind of, I'll save my questions for later, but I hope that you live abroad and you find some places that align kind of with who you are and where you are in life. Additionally, I hope you continue to just nurture those relationships that you have in your life right now, and you also cultivate new ones. You know, it would be cool to cultivate new ones with like creatives or more purposeful people or whatever, but again, we're not trying to ask for too much. At the end of the day, quality people are quality people, so just let it happen. And I also just hope that you just have a good time. Live life, have some awesome memories and experiences, and I hope that you, and I know you will, build a life that you've always dreamed of since you were a kid, and that you're proud of. Now I have some rapid fire questions for you. First, where are you based right now? Right now, I'm sitting in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm curious to find out, where are you? Are you in Asia? Are you in Europe? Are you in Africa? Are you in Antarctica? Who knows? Where are you? Additionally, what are your projects? What are your priority projects right now? And both creatively and also just in life. Also, I would love to hear about how you're feeling. That's so typical of us, asking people how they're feeling. But yeah, how are you feeling? What are you excited about in the future that's coming up? What are you frustrated about? What do you want to get off your chest? And what are you nervous about? Because as you've told yourself time and time again, if you're nervous about something, it's your gut telling you to do it. So whatever it is, just go do it, man. And let me see, I have a couple more, but here we go. And yes, I did write them down. We do that when we talk to people. We write questions. I also want to know, what lessons have you learned this past year? How did you grow? And maybe where have you struggled? Where have you not necessarily lived up to your own standards, if there are any? And I really hope that freaking kettle noise is not too loud in this recording. Gosh, whatever. And lastly, what are some big and little moments you were grateful for and that you'll always remember from this past year? And lastly, what are you proud of? What are you proud of that you've done, that you've grown or learned? Because you and I both know that at the end of the day, all we want to do is make ourselves, make our younger self proud. Because we spent too much of our life trying to make other people proud. And this next chapter, this next life cycle of ours, is all about us making ourselves proud. So I'd love to hear about what that is for you. Words of advice from 23-year-old you. But the first is just keep believing. Keep believing in yourself. Keep believing in your purpose. Keep believing in the uncertainty that is life. It will always take you where you need to go. Similarly, just keep that heart open, man. Just stay tuned into your heart, because it has never led you astray, especially these last couple years. Just trust it. Lean into it. It'll take you where you need to go, just like life will. I guess they're working together on that one. And lastly, just have fun, live life. As you always say, take the serious things seriously, everything else playfully. life is too damn short to, stress or worry about things and just not have fun. And yes, we're sort of drinking out of a fire hose right now as we speak with the different projects we're working on, but that doesn't mean we've lost sight of what actually matters in life. And that's just experiencing it as fully as we can, just having fun every day. So that's 2023 Dennis signing off. I'm excited for you to watch this back in a year and answer these questions and pass them on to the Dennis after that. Peace out, D. Love ya.